Hello guys and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the linear actuators and some of the history regarding linear actuators. Electric linear actuators are one of the most common components in modern industry. But did you know the underlying design has actually been around for many centuries? In fact, you might be surprised to learn that roots of the linear actuator can be actually traced all the way back to the 17th century. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the history of the linear actuators, going back to where it all began. After all, we term stay in the past to enable us to look towards the future. It all started with a piston. The design of the linear actuator, the first steam cylinder, was designed by Denis Papin, a French physicist and inventor, in the mid-1670s. This early design was used to create a reciprocating engine, which is a type of engine that creates a linear motion using a piston. In the steam cylinder, the steam created the energy that drove the piston. The steam engine was the first type of engine that could create linear motion, and this set the stage for a future of that industry. With this new technology, factories could be built larger and production could be increased. This marked the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, as production of goods was industrialized. The development of the piston. In the 1800s, the first air compressor had been invented. This became widely used in industry, and in the early 1900s, the air compressor was combined with a piston to create the first ever pneumatic actuator. The first time that a pneumatic actuator was recorded in use was during World War II. It was during this time that pneumatic actuators became widely known in the industry. Because of the demand in goods in World War II, this type of linear actuators began to be mass-produced for military use. After the war, pneumatic and hydraulic actuation systems increased in popularity, and they began to be introduced into the automobile industry. It was here that it began to be used in braking systems within cars. This is because they could exert a high level of force without resulting in high levels of wear and tear. As the years went on, pneumatic actuators gradually began to replace valves and pipes. In the 1960s, digital two pneumatic control devices were introduced. This enabled flow and pressure to be carefully controlled, ushering in a new era of efficiency for factories and production lines all over the world. The start of the linear as we know it today. In the mid-1900s, the mechanical linear actuator as we know it today began to emerge. The basic design of the mechanical linear actuator takes rotary motion and converts this into linear motion to drive the actuator. There are a few ways in which this can be done. Screw type, such as a ball screw, lead screw, or roller screw. Wheel and axle type, such as a hoist, winch, chain drive, belt drive, or rack and pinion. And last but not least, a camp type. This conversion of rotary motion into linear motion formed the design of linear actuators for many decades to come. And this has continued to evolve over time. The evolution of the electric linear actuator. The underlying design of the electric linear actuator hasn't changed much since its invention. However, the controls and programmability has become more intricate. With the development of new technologies, this means that many actuators can now be controlled from a single panel, allowing them to be programmed quickly and easily. The electric linear actuator as we know today was invented by Bent Jensen in 1979. Jensen was a Danish businessman who was trying to think of an idea to save his failing agricultural business. One day, while talking to an old friend who had a disability, Dent came up with an idea to develop an electric actuator that could adjust the wheelchair. Since this pivotal moment over 40 years ago, electric linear actuators have continued to evolve as a result of development in technology. They are now more accurate and more reliable than ever before, enabling precise positioning in almost every single industry. So what does the future hold for the linear actuators? Today, electric linear actuators are used across many different sectors, and their uses can differ drastically depending on the industry. The main sectors that use electric linear actuators include construction, aerospace and defense, mining and quarrying, material handling, food and beverage, automotive and transportation, machine tools and metal fabrication, manufacturing, and more. It is undeniable that electric linear actuators have become an essential part of industry, enabling factories to increase production through automation. Previously, manual jobs can now be done by machines thanks to developments in linear motion. But what does the future hold for linear actuators? In the future, we can expect to see types of linear actuators being designed and manufactured. The advancement of electric actuators is a never-ending process, but one that is going at a rapid pace. It's difficult to predict exactly what the future holds for the linear actuator industry. However, we can be sure that it will continue to improve and expand in all directions. Electric linear actuators have been improving our way of life for decades now, and this is likely to change anytime soon. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or technical topics you want me to talk about, feel free to send me a message or leave a comment. Thank you and see you in the next one.